Welcome to this explainer. So, you've just wrapped up your 12th HSC exams and you're standing at a massive crossroads wondering, what exactly comes next? Well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're drawing entirely from Dr. Rahul Karat's incredibly comprehensive breakdown to help you map out your professional future. But first, let me ask you something real quick. When you hear the word commerce, do you instantly picture a dusty ledger or, just endless boring balance sheets? Take a second and really think about it. If you answered yes to that, it's definitely time to update that perspective. We're going to shatter that outdated stereotype right now, because the world of commerce has evolved into something absolutely dynamic. To give you the full picture, here is our roadmap for today. We'll kick off with the new era of commerce, explore the traditional pillars of excellence, dive into the tech-driven commerce frontier, check out the human element advantage, and finally unpack some high-growth and emerging paths. All right, let's jump straight into part one, the new era of commerce beyond the balance sheet. Look, back in the 20th century, commerce was honestly pretty restricted to manual entries and basic, backward-looking accounting. It was mostly about recording the past. But fast forward to today, and 21st century commerce, it's driven by relentless innovation, rapid digital transformation, and human-centric management. As a modern professional in this space, you aren't just logging numbers anymore. You're an interdisciplinary powerhouse making dynamic, real-time decisions that actually steer the future of global businesses. Moving right along to Section 2, Traditional Pillars of Excellence, the Foundations. Okay, let's talk about the heavy hitters, the big three of commerce. First up, chartered accountancy, governed by the ICAI. This is easily one of India's most prestigious professions. It puts you right at the helm of auditing, taxation, and financial reporting, and it requires some serious analytical ability and numerical discipline. Next is the company secretary, governed by the ICSI. This one is absolutely perfect if you're fascinated by corporate laws, governance, and legal advisory. And finally, the cost and management accountant, under the ICAI for cost accountants. This path zeroes in on cost control, budgeting, and financial planning, especially within massive manufacturing and corporate finance sectors. Now, if you're looking to build a really solid, broad academic foundation, these degrees are basically your golden tickets. A BCom is this brilliant, versatile baseline that opens doors to specializations like banking, finance, and taxation. A BBA pivots you a bit more toward the dynamic, fast-paced worlds of management, entrepreneurship, and business strategy. And an MBA? Well, completing that after your graduation is the ultimate key to unlocking those high-paying executive leadership roles across finance, HR, and operations. And hey, we absolutely cannot overlook the bedrock of the entire economy, traditional banking. This remains a highly accessible and respected path for commerce students. You can secure these positions through specific, highly competitive exams run by bodies like the Institute of Banking Personnel Selection, or even aim directly for the Reserve Bank of India. Which brings us to Section 3, the tech-driven commerce frontier. Commerce meets technology. This is where things get incredibly exciting. Artificial intelligence is completely transforming finance and business analytics. We're well past science fiction here. AI is actively deployed every single day for complex fraud detection, literally spotting tiny anomalies that a human would miss in a fraction of a second. It's also driving algorithmic trading, where software executes complex trades at lightning speeds based on massive sets of market data. What this means for you is a whole new world of career roles. Thanks to the integration of smart systems like intelligent banking chatbots, companies are actively hunting for business analysts, data analysts, and AI financial consultants. They desperately need commerce professionals who truly understand the financial data, but also know exactly how to apply artificial intelligence to interpret it and optimize their accounting systems. So how do you actually land one of these cutting-edge jobs? You treat data analytics and business intelligence tools as your personal superpowers. Learning advanced Excel, Python, and Power BI gives you a massive, massive edge. These tools are quite literally the language of modern business. Having them on your resume makes you incredibly desirable in high-demand sectors like global e-commerce, modern banking, and top-tier consulting. You've definitely heard the buzzword floating around, fintech. Let's demystify that for a second so it's not just some intimidating acronym. Financial technology is simply the innovative integration of technology to completely revolutionize how we handle our payments, lending, and investments. It's the ultimate marriage of finance and software. In your day-to-day life, this is basically UPI, digital wallets like Google Pay or PhonePay, and the underlying architecture of blockchain. I mean, you're probably using these things every single day. And understanding the commerce behind these revolutionary tools opens up some incredibly lucrative careers. You could become a fintech analyst, a product manager designing the very next big payment app, or a risk analyst securing billions of daily transactions. Let's pivot a bit for Section 4, the human element advantage, emotional intelligence. Because here's the reality, tech alone simply isn't enough to run a successful organization. Emotional intelligence is becoming an absolutely crucial component for modern leadership. We are talking about soft skills that machines literally cannot replicate. Things like driving leadership development, managing complex human conflicts with grace, and actively building cohesive, highly motivated teams. This deep connection between commerce and human psychology opens up some really unexpected, deeply fulfilling career paths. If you love working with people, you can become a human resource manager, shaping an entire company's culture, a corporate trainer upskilling employees, or even an organizational psychologist helping businesses function healthier from the inside out. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, high growth and emerging paths, expanding horizons. As a modern commerce student, you honestly have a massive playground of emerging sectors to explore. Digital marketing is in explosive demand. Think SEO, social media, and content strategy. Then there's e-commerce and entrepreneurship. Maybe you manage operations for a giant like Amazon, or maybe you build your own startup. You could dive into international business, handling complex export-import logistics. And a super important emerging field right now, sustainability and ESG. Companies desperately need professionals to manage their environmental, social, and governance rules to ensure they're operating ethically and sustainably. Of course, we've got to highlight the sheer scale of opportunities in the government sector. Prepping for the UPSC Civil Services, MPSC, or H.S.C. exams offers you a path to profound societal impact. These roles provide incredible prestige, unbeatable job security, and the genuine chance to serve the public on a massive scale. So putting this all together, how do you build your personal roadmap? What skills do you actually need to upgrade into a modern commerce powerhouse? Well, here is your actionable checklist. You absolutely must develop your digital literacy, sharpen your analytical thinking, master crystal clear communication, cultivate real adaptability to handle constant change, and above all, ground yourself in ethical decision-making. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. The field of commerce is no longer confined to conventional rigid roles. It is a dynamic, interdisciplinary ecosystem. The future belongs to those who are not just knowledgeable, but highly adaptable and wildly innovative. The future of commerce is already here. The only question left is, are you ready to adapt?